Hey, peace, 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 love, harmony, and light. We are live. Let me just make sure that we got audio. Hey, peace, 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 love. Yes, we do. All right, at this present time, I'm gonna give you guys some time to get into this live feed. We got some work to do. All right. We got some work to do. Hey, peace, peace, brother Taloff, peace. All right, we got some work to do. Okay. A lot of these videos, people ask me to do videos on various topics and or subjects, and I try to do, as much as I can based on, the request. The more that I get, on a particular subject, then that's what I tend to, talk about. In between, I may talk about other subtitles, but for the most part, peace, everyone. Hey, Mashika, Tyrone, peace and love. All right. A lot of people are asking, about the difference between lawful and legal. Okay, so I'm gonna break that down today. I'm also gonna talk about the police, the policy. I'm gonna talk about the sheriff, and I'm gonna talk about a few some other things. Like I said, some subtitles. All right. So with that being said, I hope everybody's having a great day. First, let me introduce myself. You guys know Chief Kalanago, and first, I'm a man. I always have to make that clear. I am a man first, a man made in the likeness and image of my Creator, the Most High, the Great Spirit. Okay, and I'm a man first who calls himself or identify himself as an American Aboriginal. Okay, American Aborigines, autochthon American, the first people that were found on the American continent that were deemed or coined American Indians. Okay, so I like to make that clear first. I'm a man first, and no man or woman has any authority over me. I do not serve any man or any woman. I'm here to do the work of the Most High, and that's it. That's the only power that rules over me. Okay, so I like to make that clear. And no man or woman has any right to administer my property without my consent. Okay, so let me just make that clear first and foremost. All right, good. So I hope everybody is having a great day. It's a beautiful day out here in New York. It's not hot, it's not cold, and it's not humid. So that's a beautiful thing. There is a little breeze out there. So it's beautiful. I just came from the city. I just came from Manhattan. Had to go take care of some things just to show you guys I am doing a lot of work on behalf of we the Aborigines. I am on the grind all day because a lot of people talk about this. Hey ya Heru, peace, love, and light. A lot of people, talk about it, and it's cool. There's nothing wrong in talking. Some people have to talk, and some people have to walk the walk. Well, I am one of those that walk the walk. I just came from the UN. Let me see if you could see if you could see the date, but the date is here. See if you could see the date right here. Let it focus. Focus. All right. And as you could see, it says visitor Chief Kalanago. Okay. All righty. So just so you know, a lot of people, you can't get into the UN with a fake ID. So obviously, if I'm going into the UN with an ID that says Chief Kalanago, all right, then I must be doing something right. I'm just saying, because, a lot of people love to talk, hey, this chief this and chief that. Well, I like to show and prove. You know what I mean? I like to show facts. And like I say, facts over feelings. All right. So you cannot go into the UN with an ID that's fake. Okay. And all my ID says Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle. So I'm just saying, Chief must be doing something good or must be doing something right. You know what I mean? But anyway, to all you haters, y'all going to continue to hate. I'm here on behalf of the people. This is a righteous movement right here. This channel is a righteous channel. We ain't got no time for negativity. We ain't got time for backbiting people. Now, we got too much work to do. Every single day I travel the streets of Brooklyn and I see how my people are hurting. I see the pain that my people are in. I see my elders are getting homeless because of gentrification. I see it. I see my brothers on the corner. Literally, last night, I seen some brothers like within the span of 2 blocks. they have at least 3 liquor stores. And oh my, and just I'm talking about groups of brothers in front of the liquor stores drinking and arguing, you know what I'm saying, over which liquor tastes the best. So I'm just trying to show you I got work to do, because my people are hurting out here. My people are being perished out here. So I ain't got no time for no type of negativity, period. You know what I mean? And I realize that the people that look like me, they're the ones that's going to come against me the most. I realize that, but I'm ready for that. And I always tell people, you could talk as much as you want, freedom of speech, you got free will. But the Most High didn't give us free will to do what the hell we want. No, the Most High gave us free will to do as we should. You see, there's a difference. There is a difference between free will to do what the hell you want or free will to do as you should, because you see, there are already laws that's laid out in the universe. People just think they could be just lawless. That's why you have police, you know, that's put in place to secure and promote and protect policies. And I'm going to get into that right now to show y'all the reason why your neighborhoods, well, I'm not going to say your, because I'm part of it as well. There's police all over all neighborhoods, so I'm not going to take myself out of that equation. But there's a reason why the police is in our neighborhoods like that, because we have become a lawless people. First, we forgot the laws of the Most High. And once you kind of like abandon your spiritual parents, okay, it's going to manifest in the flesh. So that's what we are dealing with right now. We have forgotten and abandoned our spiritual parents. You know what I mean? We have taken so-called false gods, which is the so-called gods of the enslavers, the colonizers. So when we are going through what we are going through, it's more than just physical. It is more than just physical. Okay? It's a spiritual thing. And we have to connect back into our spiritual practices. All right? We have to. Okay? We have to understand that. Definitely. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, hold on for a second, guys. Hold on for a second. All right. I don't know what the hell is this thing coming up here, but we're going to talk about the difference between legal and lawful. All right. There's a major difference, because what's legal is actually unlawful in this system. We have to know what we are dealing with. Okay. Statutory law is not real law. Municipal law is not real law. The legal system is based on fictition. It only exists on paper. It is not the spoken word. It is not the spoken word. You know what? I should have also put in there LORE, which I broke down in another video. LORE is actually the spoken law. All right. And man wrote the LAW law, which is the written law. But organic law or common law deals with the people. The people. Remember, nothing could happen without the people. And this is the order. Okay. Let me see if I can get a pen to illustrate what I'm talking about. Now, again, you guys I promise I'm gonna get a better chair, because this chair, every time I move, it squeaks. All right, but it's cool though. Just want you to know it's not mice. All right, it's actually the chair that's doing that. But let me see if I could get a piece of paper to illustrate exactly what I'm talking about for you guys, to show y'all the order of things. Okay, in which it's supposed to be, but it's not. Okay, so here we go. This is the order of things which it was meant to be. Okay, right here. I'm going to draw this out, and then we're going to do it at the top, the head. We have, I'm going to put Great Spirit. Okay. Some people may call it God, but I'm going to say Great Spirit. I'm going to say Great Spirit. And then I'm going to put on, AKA God. All right. Now below that is, we have, all right. And, okay. And below that, we have animals. And below that, we have everything else. Everything else. Okay, part of all that, everything else is also what man created. You know, we have governments. Okay, so let me see if you guys could see this, right? So this is the order of things. I'm not sure if my screen is clear enough so that you guys can see it, but I'm just going to explain to you what I'm showing you, okay? This is supposed to be everything. There's a hierarchy in everything, okay? It's never changed. At the very top, we have the Great Spirit, okay? The all, the universal I am. Some people call it God, okay? I'm refraining from using that term God, so I'm using Great Spirit, okay? Because again, God just means to evoke. So whenever you use God, I'm going to ask you again, what are you evoking? If I use God, I know what I'm evoking. I'm evoking the spirits of my ancestors, okay? However, I'm going to use the term Great Spirit or the all. Now, this is actually the hierarchy, okay? The head, okay? The all, the creator of all. Below that, the creator of all created man and woman. And that's all there is, man and woman, okay? And in my book, I broke that down because a lot of people are getting caught up with titles, okay? And titles are not meant, okay, to have rights, okay? But however, a man and a woman got rights, alienable rights from the Most High. So I'm taking you beyond the threshold of what you call titles, where I promise you, you will win every single time, provided that, of course, they don't want to strong arm you. And even if they do, there's ways to deal with that as well. So I'm showing you a whole different perspective, okay? So we have the creator, the all, the Most High. Then we have man and woman. What did the Most High say? The Most High said that I will give you dominion over everything, every living thing on the face of this earth, right? Even the animals. Now, anything below what's called the Godhead, so to speak, again, I'm using that word God, peace and love, Jazzy. I'm using that word God for, again, conversation's sake, okay? But anything below the Godhead is the creation of man, okay? Is the creation of man, okay? Now, well, animals and man and woman, they're actually on the same level, but the creator, the Most High, gave us dominion over animals. So you have the Most High, you have man, woman, and animals, and anything below that, okay, well, you know, plants, those things, but anything below that is the creation of man. So when we come all the way down to the bottom, this right here is, we have governments. But look to see what's on that pyramid, what's above governments. We have man and woman. So therefore, man and woman created governments. But however, the government has gone rogue, and it's not just here in the United States. Pretty much all around the world, the governments have gone rogue because the people have lost the knowledge of what it means to have a government. They have lost the knowledge on what it means to be we the people. Okay, so with the false teaching and the lack of true education, guess what happened? That pyramid was turned upside down. Okay? That pyramid was turned upside down, and guess who's playing God? The government is playing God. Okay? That's why on their money it says, in God we trust. What God are they talking about? What spirit are they evoking? They are evoking the spells that they're putting on the people. But people don't realize that. People are still going to polls and voting, oh, and that's my president, that's not, and people are literally fighting each other over politics when it's not real. It's a facade, right? Because I think it's like, what, 200 and something, or to whatever it is to win the presidency. If anybody know, they could put it in the chat for me. I think it's like 270 or 370, whatever. I don't pay attention to that because I don't vote, right? But think about it. If your vote really counted, then you have millions of people voting. Why does it only take 270 or 370 to win? Those are called electoral votes. The popular votes is not what picks a president. It's a corporation. It's a business. The workers of the corporation do not pick a president. Okay? Go to your jobs and prove me wrong. Find me any place that have a corporation, right? And show me exactly where the people have actually picked the president. I'll wait. So what makes you think it's any different from the United States, which is one of the biggest corporations in the world? What makes you think it's any different? The popular vote is not what picks the president, which is your vote. Everything is about playing with your emotions, letting you think that what you are doing it has an effect, okay, on picking the president. No, it doesn't. It's a facade. It's not real. So therefore, that pyramid, that order of her hierarchy has actually flipped around, and the government is playing your God. Okay? That's why they could come take your children. That's why they could pick you up and put you in jail. Because they own you. But when you truly get a true understanding of what all this is about, which I explain in my book, go down to the link, okay? Order the book, and I break everything down. If you want to learn how to win and beat the beast, I'm telling you, there's only one way. There is no, I don't care what nobody said. There is no other way. The only way to beat the beast is to be a man and a woman again, because that's what the Most High created. It is the only way. I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care what nationality you call yourself. That's not going to save you. Okay? It has perks to being an Aborigine, yes. But first, before you were an Aborigine, what were you? You are a man and a woman. There has never been a time where man or woman never existed, because man is the Most High living in the flesh, and the Most High is man in the spirit. Okay, the concept of the allegorical Jesus, the physical man and woman, because it represents man and woman, and the ascended Christ, the spiritual man or woman. You get it? So our goal right now, what I'm teaching you to do is in order to put things back in order, the way it was supposed to be, okay? Now it's this way, where the government is playing so-called God. I want to teach you how to tilt the scale or tilt the pyramid and put things back in order where the Most High is in charge, okay? And we are right here. We came here to do the work of the Most High, okay? We have a covenant with the Most High, but a lot of us we have forgotten that covenant, okay? And we are caught up in everything else, which is physical, which is flesh. And that's the reason why we are going through what we are going through, because we have abandoned the Most High, okay? A lot of people are coming out of religion, and that's great. But they think coming out of religion means that they could be rogue. They could be lawless. Oh, well, you know what? I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in this, so I could do me. No, you can't do you. Okay? You didn't create yourself. And my ignorance at one point, you know, yeah, oh, well, I am my own God. No, you're not your own God, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we have to get a true understanding of that. All right? There is a higher power. Okay, yes, we are the higher power, you know, collectively, but individually, okay, that individual is weak. Okay, and I could prove that to you exactly in context in the allegorical Bible. And I like to say allegorical Bible because a lot of people say, well, Chief, if you don't believe in the Bible, you know, why you keep quoting it? Well, the truth is, it's not that I don't believe in the Bible. I believe the Bible is real. The Bible is real because it was written by real men. However, I don't believe it was written by a sky daddy. You see, that's the difference. Okay? And I know that the teachings of the Bible, it's years of looking at different cultures, especially of the original people of the Americas, and they put all those things in a book, in the context or a narrative of the book. So most of the Bible, okay, the allegorical stories, okay, it reflects our lives. Because truth be told, we taught the world. All right? We taught the world. We taught the world. Okay? Now, a lot of people know that, okay, the Moors ruled Europe, Spain for a very long time, and they taught the Caucasians. But who do you think taught the Moors? You see, people are not speaking the truth. People are not letting you know that this right here, America, is the first Egypt. And even in the book, the allegorical Bible told you they all came to Egypt to learn. That's where they all learned. So do not allow anybody to take away your power or the power of your ancestors or what we had and what we knew. We are the original, period. And no matter what they say, they can't fool me. I know. Because you see, I speak facts. And like I said, facts over feelings. So if your feelings are getting hurt by the truth that I bring, then prove me wrong. Prove to me that this is not Egypt. Prove to me that. And I could prove that to you, not just in documents, but I could prove it with my DNA as well. Y'all better get this. Okay? So let us get into, first, we're going to talk about, I've given you guys some information on Lawful. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but Lawful, I explained to you that law, L-O-R-E, is the spoken word. It is handed down from generation to generation. Okay, it's spoken, the oral history. Okay, and that's the actual law. You see, that's what we had. That's what we had. You see, the allegorical Moses. Remember, you have to look at the allegory of these stories, right? The allegorical Moses. Remember, Moses went into Egypt, right? Where did Moses learn? Even in the Bible, it tells you Moses learned from the Egyptians. He learned from the Egyptians, right? So that means Moses wasn't from this continent. Moses was an African, okay? A so-called Moor, because they say they are Moors, right? Moses learned from the Egyptians, us. And where did Moses get the law from? Moses supposedly went to a burning bush, a mountain, and the Creator, the Most High, spoke the laws unto Moses. Again, spoke. It wasn't written down because we didn't have, in our culture, we didn't have culture where we wrote things. It was always oral. Like I said, read between the lines. I am teaching you the symbology of those things, what it meant. It is very symbolic. So Moses went to get the spoken L-O-R-E, the spoken law from the Most High. The Most High. Now, that could mean a few things. It could actually mean the actual Most High or the original people, the Most High. Okay? People of the American continent. So he went to get that law and he wrote it down and he took it to his people as the L-A-W, the written law. So the written law came from the spoken law. All right? And it was very, very, very simple. Okay? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The laws are really, really simple. Okay? They are very, 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 very simple. So the truth of the matter is, the only time a law is broken is when you harm someone, when you have murdered someone, or when you defraud someone. That is the only time a law is broken. And that is facts. That's what differentiates legal and lawful. Okay? When you break the law, you have harmed someone. You have damaged someone's property. You have defrauded someone. That's when you actually break the law. However, with the legal aspect of things, which they tell you, which is the law, it's not a law. Okay? Those are statutes, codes, municipal, judicial. Okay? It came from Judeo-Christian, judicial, get it? Judical, get it? Judaism. That's what we are being governed by. Ecclesiastic laws. I think in 1983, and I'm going to look that up just to prove it to you again. Congress made it the year of the Lord, meaning that the Bible has credence in court. That you could use the Bible in court to fight cases. Okay, so we're going to get into that. So just know that legal deals with entities and corporations. Okay, they only exist on paper. They're not real. It deals with the legal person. It deals only with the fake entity that you say that you are. The all capital letters. That's the only time. That's why you have a legal name and it's not a lawful name. See the difference? A legal name. That's why they have a real ID, which is a legal ID, because they want to take you out of the status of being a man or a woman and continue to keep you in slavery by enslaving you, by making you a legal person. And of course, it's by choice, free will. You are the one that says, hey, that's me, that's my name. Not realizing that you don't have a name. You are known as, but you don't have a name. Very interesting, isn't it? And that's why the legal system is so corrupted. And that's why over 2 million of our brothers and sisters are sitting in jail right now, because they don't know. People perish for the lack of knowledge. So once again, I strongly suggest that you go to the link below, get the book, and learn how to win. Educate yourself. Don't do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. I wrote it for you. Okay? So that's pretty much the difference between lawful and legal. Okay? Lawful was made, the law was made by man and woman, the people. However, the legal system, those statutes and codes, yes, it was made by man and woman, but it is being used, okay, to govern legal entities' lives, people who are not real, fictitious people, okay, the people who have legal names. So that's the difference, okay. Now let me start sharing the screen and get into a few things, okay. Let me go into Google right here. All right, so bear with me here, guys. We got a lot to cover, and we're making some moves right now, okay. Congress made, I think it was 1983, the year of God, I think. Let me see, 31 years ago, Congress declared, okay, the year, oh, no, it wasn't the year of God, it was the year of the Bible, okay? So I'm just giving you guys some information here. So we're gonna share this screen right here, so you guys know that, you know, Chief is not just talking about things, like he actually knows what he's talking about, okay? So we're gonna share the screen. I'm gonna say share notices. No, thank you, I'm good with that. I don't want you to, man, they're always asking for permission to always use your stuff. Y'all ain't using jack. Okay, so this website, I just Googled that. Again, that wasn't part of the lecture today, but I'm going along just like you. All right, this is familycouncil.org. So if you so choose, you could go and look into it yourself. 31 years ago, Congress declares 1983 the year of the Bible. So like I said, seeing that we are being governed by ecclesiastic laws, you could use scriptures in the Bible to actually win cases. And I have done that. Okay? But you have to know the jewels. So that's why I tell people, don't throw away your Bible, because you have to know exactly what it was put in place for. Not that it's going to save you spiritually. No, that's not what this is about. This is about saving yourself physically. Okay, Jesus was a physical man, an allegory. He wasn't real, but it's a representation of the physical man, that he goes through his journey, all the trials and tribulations of life, until he's able to overcome it all and be crucified. And after he's crucified, he bear that pain, gave up his physical life to ascend into the Christ. Okay? So the Bible is here for you to learn how to win. Okay? Some of those laws are actually in there because we are being governed by ecclesiastic laws. So it says right here, or from the very top, October 4th, 1982, the 97th Congress of the United States Senate Joint Resolution 165, co-sponsored, among others, a Kansas Senator, David Pryor, authorizing then President Ronald Reagan to declare 1983 the year of the Bible. Okay? The year of the Bible. The resolution began by saying, whereas the Bible, the Word of God, has made a unique contribution in shaping the United States as a distinctive and blessed nation and people, and goes on to declare that renewing our knowledge of and faith in God through Holy Scripture can strengthen us as a nation and a people. 31 years later, it's hard to imagine Congress calling the Bible the Word of God, much less agreeing that an entire year be dedicated to it. But that's precisely what happened. At the time, Congress knew America was going to be facing what President Reagan dubbed a decade of enormous challenge. The solution wasn't just to revamp the economy, adjust the military, or try to create jobs. They also gave thought to America's heart and soul, as evidenced by this resolution. But you see, what the United States don't realize is this: until you stop persecuting the firstborns of this nation, of this continent, America, the United States, is not safe. It's never going to be at peace because you are here persecuting the firstborns. It is the same concept of Roman law. Herod, who was out and seeking the firstborns, okay, of Jerusalem to kill them. Where was Jerusalem? Jerusalem was in Peru. It was in America. So you have to understand the symbology, or, you know, the symbolic meaning or the allegory of what these things are. Okay? We are still under the Roman Empire. And I'm going to prove that to you again today. So like I said, I don't care what you call yourself. If you don't know how to be a man or a woman first, then you got some major problems. Okay? As Ronald Reagan noted in February of 1983, of the many influences that have shaped the United States of America into a distinctive nation and people, none may be said to be more fundamental and enduring than the Bible. Of course, it's on every corner, in every church. In every corner, they got 5 churches. Its teachings helped form the basis for the founding fathers' abiding belief in the alienable rights of the individuals. No, you see, we have alienable rights from the Creator. However, they took away your right and gave you privileges because you want to be a citizen of the corporate United States. You want to be black. You want to be African American. So you have no rights. You have no rights. But a man or a woman that was created in the likeness and image of the Most High has rights. These kind of rights right here. Okay? Now let us look at the definition of inalienable. All right? So now that I showed you that the Bible was declared, all right, 1983, the year of the Bible, and it still stands today, let us go back and look at the definition of this word. All right? A lot of the stuff that I'm showing you guys, I know you haven't seen it before, but it's okay. My job is to educate you and bring you the knowledge. For those of you who know it, great, perfect. Okay? Let us hear the pronunciation of this word. Okay.
Inalienable.
All right, there we go. Inalienable. All right. Unable to be taken away from or given away by a possessor. You hear that? I'm going to read this again. I want to make sure that this is bold and big for you, because you guys have to get this. You have to get this, man. Stop the smoking and the drinking and getting high. Stop all that bullshit, man. Get high on the knowledge. Okay, get high on implementing the knowledge. Get high on sucking it to these people. Stop drinking and smoking your life away and thinking that's what life is about. Okay? Those are the rights that was given to us by the Most High. It was taken away from you because you want to fit in. You want to be like. And this is the definition. Unable to be taken away or given away by the possessor. So that means that even if I wanted to give my right away, okay, you know, I cannot give it away. Yes, it could be taken if I consent, but my right is always going to be my right. So if the people, we are the creators and the government is the creation, how is that the government, the creation, is ruling the creator and taking away your rights when that's something that they are unable to do? However, it is voluntary. You consent. And that's where the legal system comes in. The legal system was put in place to take away your rights that were unable to be taken away. But may I remind you again, the American Aborigine, aka American Indian, by default, you are not United States citizens, because I showed you why. Because of the Indian Citizen Act of 1924. So if you haven't seen that, go look at that video. And that's why you have no rights. You have privileges, because you are not a man or a woman. You haven't declared that. Okay? They have a dossier on you that states that you are a legal person. You are stock. You are property. And right now you are being traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And that's a fact. Especially if you, quote unquote, break a law or do something illegal and you get arrested, then your bond goes up. Okay? All of a sudden, you are a star on the New York Stock Exchange, because now they are bidding all over the world for that bond because you got arrested. Y'all think it's a game? Y'all don't know. But I'm here to tell you the truth. But y'all go around every single day thinking your life is okay. Oh, I could pay my bills. Oh, I got a job. Oh, my children in school. I'm good. No, you are not. You are not good. You think you're good. It's an illusion. And it really bothers me when people go to school and they get so-called degrees, you know, masters and bachelors. And I'm not hating, because you put in your time. But it bothers me when people such as those go around thinking they have made it, when the truth is you're more indoctrinated than the common man that have the knowledge. Guess what? I started college. I started going to John Jay College, and something within my spirit tell me to stop, and I stopped. So at some point in my life, I have always been in tune. I was always awakened, but I just needed some fine tuning. I just needed some fine tuning from the I am in me that brought me to where I'm at today. When all the lies and rumors was being spread about me, how many people fed into the negativity? Huh? Oh, Chief Kalinaga was a stripper. So what? I did what I had to do to take care of my damn son. I wasn't breaking no law. I have never been to jail. I have never been to prison. And I was the best whoever did it. The best in New York for over 12 years. Where I was so damn good, I became the first so-called Caribbean, so-called Black Caribbean, African American, whatever you want to call it, to grace the cover of Playgirl. So there ain't no shame in my game. And if I have to do it again today to take care of my son, if he had to go back and be 2 years old again, I'll do it again, because I was the best. My life is an open book. But y'all want to hate on me because you can't be me, and you will never be me. The man, I am the man. The man is spirit. And anything the flesh does is an act. I was acting because I had a role to play. I had to take care of my son. I was a father. Huh? And all of you that was trying to do videos and talk bad about me and propagandize my name, how many of y'all that was in your children's lives? Huh? How many of y'all was being good fathers? How many of y'all turn away as soon as your son's mother or your daughter's mother said you had to take care of your child? How many of y'all turned and walk away? Even after she, if that's your situation, even after she was giving you a hard time because you probably didn't want to be with her and she was dragging your ass to court, how many of y'all gave up? But guess what? Chief Kalinago didn't give up. I stood up and took the beating. I went to court every single day fighting for my son. It cost me over $22,000. Well, I'm not going to lie. It cost me over $20,000 in child support. And I was still paying child support when I had full custody of my son. I'm a real man. And I wish I could say the same for half of y'all that was hating on me. A bunch of punks. Real men stand up regardless of what. Regardless of what they go through, a real man stand up, and a real man never turn his back on his seeds. Never. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what your son, mother does. It's your job to be there for your child. And I did that. I did that. And here I am today. People are waking up to realize that, you know, that I don't want to get into my low chakra right now, but that little vagina was lying, telling lies on me. All the promises that they said, oh, well, Chief didn't do this, I'm going to do that. Where it's at right now. Where it's at right now. Okay, they got all your money. Okay, y'all was hating on me, right? They got all your money. Where's the projects they're talking about they was going to give you? But y'all wanted to believe the lies. All the people that was riding their coattail turned away from them because they found out that they were lying. And I knew it was a spiritual attack because the ancestors came and warned me and I didn't take heed. And they literally almost crippled the right side of my body the second time that spiritual attack came. People left our nation because of the lies and propaganda. How do y'all feel now that you know it was a lie? And Chief was always telling the truth. It's okay. I have forgiven y'all, even if you didn't apologize. Because you see, I'm a bigger man. I'm a real man. They don't make them like me no more. I'll tell you that. I'm 1 in a million, baby. I only know me. I could only speak for me. You could call it cocky. You could call it what ego. I don't care what you call it. Because the I am in me has an ego. Because there's nothing higher than it. So y'all better know thyself. Okay? Because I know who I am. So let us continue with this. And, you know, thank you for allowing me to vent on this for a little while. Okay? So that right is a right that we have naturally from the Most High. But because we are dealing with a legal system, that legal system was put in place to create legal persons. Okay? So now I'm going to prove to you, before I get into anything else, I'm going to prove to you that we are still under the Roman Empire. What people don't realize is this, okay? This has nothing to do. A lot of people are talking about race and color of skin. I don't get involved with that, okay? I don't let people suck me into the paradigm of hating people because of their skin. I don't do that, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that I believe that all of us have to come together and sing Kumbaya. I don't believe that. I believe that we, the Aborigines, we have to separate ourselves from every other culture to work on us first, to build us first, because every other culture is doing it. That's the only way to be successful. That's the only way to grow and be strong and be powerful, is to make sure that we don't have any outside ethnic groups amongst us to infiltrate what we are doing, okay? Because the Asians do it. And even within the spectrum of the Asian, what you call phenotype, you have Japanese, you have Chinese, and you have Korean, and you have others as well, but that's the 3 main ones. They all even have their own groups, where Chinese just do them, Japanese just do them, and Koreans do them, and nobody complains, okay? You don't see them pulling us into their mix, trying to build with them and be friends with us. You don't see them doing that. You don't see these so-called Jewish people, and I say so-called because they are not the original Jews. You don't see the so-called Jewish people pulling us into their mix and have us sitting at the wrong table with them. You don't see Akbar and them, you know, what you call it, the Arabs that got stores on every corner calling you brother just because they want you to support them. They're not your brothers or sisters. They know that, but they want your bread. And y'all don't realize you're being used. You're being consumed because consumers get consumed. They don't care about you. They got their own little circles. They don't pull you into it to build with you. They don't do that. Even for a lot of y'all who call yourself Africans, I don't see the real Africans pulling you into their circles and building with you. They got their own churches. They got their own restaurants. True story. 3 days ago, I was walking up New Lotz Avenue, and there's a construction site going on because the Jewish people are buying everything up. Gentrification. All right? And on that work site, I seen a group of dudes. I think it was like maybe like about lunchtime. They was having lunch and everybody talking. I hear some so-called, you know, African Americans, what they call, you know, born in the United States. And there was also some West Indians, but they don't know they're Aborigines. But I heard a Jamaican accent, and I think I heard a Grenadian accent and a Trini accent, right? And they talking. But what was so, what what was so, I wouldn't say it was amazing, but what kind of drew my attention was the fact that it was about 7 of them in one group, and then on the left side there was only one dude sitting down, and it just struck me when I saw the dude. I said, this dude is African, and I had to prove myself. So I went up to him. I said, hey bro, how you doing? Where you from, brother? He said he was from Ghana, but he was by himself, and he wasn't mixing with the Aborigines, and they were just chilling, having a good time, laughing. And again, it dawned on me everything that I've been teaching and saying. These people know we are not them. They stick to themselves. Now, I'm not saying that to separate or say we hate. No, they are our family. They are our relatives. Okay? It's like your mother having 20 children. I always use that reference. You are not your brother. You are not your sister, but you are related, right? It's the same thing. They are not us. They are not. We are the children of the American continent, and they are the children of the African continent. We are of the Negroid stock, meaning that we are related. Some of the genes, genetically, we are related. But they know we are different from them. And I see the Trini, I see the Grenadian, I see the Jamaican vibing with the so-called, Black American. And they all having a good time talking. Some of the so-called Black Americans even trying to talk like they from the West Indies, having a great time. And this one African brother sitting by himself, just gazing into the atmosphere. Now, maybe that was an isolated incident. I don't know. But I'm just saying that's what I experienced. That's what I experienced. So from day one, the goal of other nations in the world was to take out the firstborn. They have no honor for their mother and fathers. So they had to flip it around and to tell you that life originated in Africa, which it didn't. It didn't. And there have been proof and proof and proof, archaeological research, all type of research, okay, to debunk that lie. Every other continent have Aborigines. But of course, when it comes to the Americas, no. Oh, we came on ships, right? So you are still being governed by the Roman Empire, okay? The Roman Empire was the one who took us down last. You may not see it, but I'm telling you, we are being governed by the Roman Empire right now. They took down the American Empire. And when I say American Empire, I'm talking about, even if we had different empires, there has always been families, okay, that became superpowers in the world, all right? And we have always had that in the Americas. So what the world made, what the other nations made, they probably decide, oh, you know what, man, the only way for us to take these people down is for us to come together. And that's what happened. All right. So I'm gonna show you real quick. Look at the symbol of the American Express card. Okay, images. Okay, right here. Look at the symbol on the American Express card. Who you think is on there? Look at the helmet. It's a Roman. Okay, it's a Roman. We are under the Roman Empire. Now, Roman, British, they're all the damn same. It is a family. Okay, they are all Jewish, because the original Jews were dark-skinned people. They are all Jewish. And I'm going to prove that to you again. Let us go look at, let me see what I have here. No, not that, not, okay. So here we go. Okay. We have, right here, Emperor Justinian. Okay. Emperor Justinian. That is, I think that was, Herod, Herod. But let us read who that is real quick. Okay, let us read who that is. Justinian. All right, Justinian, Flavius, Petros, Sabatios. Okay, let us read. traditionally known as Justinian the Great and also Saint Justinian the Great. In the Eastern Oxford Church was the Eastern Roman Empire from 527 to 556. During his reign, Justinian sought to revive the empire's greatness and reconquer the lost western half of the historical Roman Empire. Justinian rule constitutes a distinct epoch in the history of the later Roman Empire, and his reign marked by the ambitious but only partly realized. Okay, we are being governed by Rome. This ambition was expressed by the partial recovery of the territories of the defunct Western Roman Empire. All right, so when they speak of, like I told you before, when we speak of America being the West, they're not talking about geographically. They're talking about in concept, on paper, because the people from the West, in other words, the Caucasians, the Romans from the West, they came and took over our territory, and they deem it the West. Okay, the American continent is actually on the East. They flipped the map around. So we are being governed and ruled by a Western ideology, not geographically. I hope that makes sense. Okay? I hope it makes sense. So that's what's happening right now. All right. So when you're dealing with their courts, you remember when you're dealing with their courts, it's a bunch of Romans. Okay, that's putting us in jail from that legal system that was created, and that is the goal, to take away the power of the Aboriginal people, take what's ours. Okay, so now we have codes, all that deals with what's legal, the codes, the statutes and codes. Look at Black's Law, 2nd edition. All right, a collection of. Let me just bring that up a little bit so you guys can see that some more. See what I'm reading. Okay. So a lot of people tend to use codes and statutes when they do paperwork. I tell people you don't have to do that. Okay. Those codes and statutes and all those things, they were put in place to keep those people in check. Now, if you want to make reference and use a code or a statute or whatever it is, then I suggest you make that your exhibit. Okay, you don't put it in the body of your main document. You make it an exhibit. Okay, or if you're going to use it, put it in brackets. In other words, it's outside of the main body of your document. But I don't want to get into that and confuse you guys. Okay, code, a collection of compendium of laws. Well, they say laws. They're not laws. A complete system of positive law, scientifically arranged. Scientifically arranged. So that means it's not natural. You see, they call it law right here, but then it says it is scientifically arranged and promulgated by the legislative authority. Johnson versus Harrison, 47, Minnesota 575. Okay, so they're just giving a few case laws right here. So I'm gonna come read from here. Okay, the collection of laws and constitutions made by order of the Emperor Justinian. I just showed you who that was. So you see where the courts came from, my brothers and sisters? I am not making this thing up. That's why I showed you who he was before I got into that. Okay? Let me see. Oh, that was the okay. So I just showed you who the man was. Right here. I'm going to show you again. So when you're dealing with statutes and codes, this is the guy. This guy right here. A Roman emperor. All right, let us look at code again. Let us look again, right here, because I don't want you guys to think I'm making this thing up. The collection of laws and constitutions made by order of the Emperor Justinian. Who is Emperor Justinian? Right here. Right here. Okay, a great in Orthodox was the Eastern Roman Emperor. So what does Justinian codes have to do with the Aborigines? Not a damn thing. But our people perish for the lack of knowledge, my brothers and sisters. Now I got to come back to the live feed here for a second because I got to make sure you guys are getting this, man, like for real. I got to make sure that y'all are getting this. All right. Hey, brothers and sisters, are we getting this? I'm just making sure we getting this, man. Hey, everyone. You know, I was going in, so I didn't realize, you know, more people had gotten on. But peace and love to each and every one of you guys. Are we guys getting this, man? Because I'm taking y'all to school today. All right. I'm really giving you. I'm literally giving you your masters right now. I am giving you the information that's going to turn you into a master, because the only master there is a master of self. That's the only master there is the master of self. So when you go to school and get your degree and your paper and talking about, oh, I got my master's degree, man, you ain't got nothing. Because guess what? I got the hottest degrees from the sun. Okay? And I ain't got to cut down trees to get this, because I'm mastering self. Okay? So we as the Aborigines, we have to realize the game that's being played on us. Okay? Those things were put in place to govern, okay, and to keep in check the real immigrants that came to our land. Those codes, it was for them, not for us. Because remember, they modeled their system from our system. We taught them. We taught them. Okay? So I'm just showing you that proof right there to show you that we are still being governed by Rome. Okay? And I showed you the American Express, I showed you the codes, and I showed you who this character is. Okay? And that's the code. It is distinguished by, right here, by appellation of the code. By way of eminence, see Code of Justinian, a body of law established by the legislative authority and intended to set forth in generalized and systematic form. What I told y'all before, everything is systematic. It's only on paper. And you are a voluntary slave because you volunteer yourself. The principles of the entire law, whether written or unwritten, positive or customary, derived from an enactment or from the President Abbott. A code is to be distinguished from a digest. The subject matter of the latter is usually reported decisions of the courts. But there are also digests of statutes. Statutes, we're going to take a look at that. These consist of an orderly collection and classification of existing statutes of a state or a nation, while a code is promulgated as one new law covering the whole field jurisprudence. Okay, we gonna look at let me see, what is this right here? Right, let me close this out. We're gonna look at, we just look at code. Let us look at oh, I got that already. Let us, so well, statutes, I guess we already got into that, but I wanted to show you guys something before I move on. I should have actually gotten into that before I left the page. But let me show y'all something, okay? Give me a second here. Okay, Black's Law definition. Definition of statute. All right, so let's look at the definition of statute right here. Let's see, Law Dictionary. Okay, so what is a statute, right? An act of legislature, a particular law enacted and established by the will of the legislative department of government, expressed with the requisite formalities. No. In foreign and civil law, any particular municipal law or usage, though resting for its authority on judicial decisions. Again, right here, that word deals with Judaism, judicial, judico. They're all the same thing. It's all municipal. It's all fictitious. It only exists on paper. It is not real. It is not real, my brothers and sisters. The only time it becomes real is when you consent. The only time it becomes real is when you consent. The only time it becomes real is when you consent, is when you say, yes, that legal person is me. Let us look at the definition of legal person, because that's who you are. Well, for those of you, I'm not saying everybody now, okay? I'm not generalizing. For those of you who haven't, okay, put your affairs in order, you are still a legal person. So therefore, statutes and codes could be used to definitely take you into a place that you don't want to go. All right. Let me see. Statutes and code, legal personality. What is legal entity? Okay. Legal person. I know it's in there. I know it's in there. Legal. What is an artificial person? What is an, okay, let me see, what is an artificial person? I know legal person, artificial person is probably the same thing. Okay, artificial person, a non-human entity that is created by law and is legally different, owning its own rights and duties, aka justice person and legal persons. You see it right here in bold. So when you guys have to be very mindful and be very careful, man, when you start answering to that legal name you got thinking it's you. That's not you. Okay, what is an artificial person? A legal person is an artificial person. Okay, right here. A non-human entity that is created by law and is legally different, owning its own rights and duties. You have no rights, brothers and sisters, aka justice person and legal person referred to body corporate. You are a corporation. Get your affairs in order, family. Get your affairs in order. Okay? Now, let us go into, I'm showing you more proof again. All right? The massacre of innocents. Let me just bring that up again. Okay, the massacre of innocents. You see, I'm bringing everything into full circle so that this could make sense to you guys. All right? Because I like to explain things so that a child could understand it and understand it. Okay? Now, the massacre of innocents is a biblical account of infanticide by Herod the Great. By Herod the Great, the Roman appointed king of the Jews. The Roman appointed king of the Jews. Remember, the Jews, the original Jews are dark-skinned people, right? But Herod was a great man, they said, and he was the Roman appointed king of the Jews, according to the Gospel of Matthew. Herod ordered the execution of all young males, okay, children in the vicinity of Bethlehem, so as to avoid the loss of his throne to a newborn king of the Jews. Now, that is symbolic. Where was Bethlehem at? Bethlehem was in Jerusalem, wasn't it? Where was the original Jerusalem at? In the Americas. And you heard what it said? Herod ordered the execution of all young male children in the vicinity of Bethlehem, so as to avoid the loss of his throne to be the king of the Jews. What does that mean? It says whose birth had been announced by him by the Magi or Magi. The firstborn, like I said, has always been the American continent. Okay? We have always been the superpower of the world. There is nothing new under the sun. The firstborn, the kings and queens. All right? That's why when our throne was taken over, all right, who took it over? A king and a queen of England. They were not the original. We were. All the supposed gold they got from Africa, They didn't get it from Africa. They got it from here. I mean, yes, they got some, stuff from Africa. I'm not denying that. But the gold the gold they built their empire on, okay, it came from the Americas. Even as late as 1933, right before 1933, gold and silver was still the currency of our land. Until it was law that everybody had to turn in their gold and silver, and they had to turn more into another form of legal tender, which was the federal notes. All that's in my book. I broke it down in detail. So go to the link below and get your copy. So I am showing you again the legal system that's governing our lives is not law. It is part of a Roman system. Romans, okay? Now, instead of the Jews, you have the Jewish claiming to be the Jews running your life. Because we were supposed to be the kings and queens. But everything got flipped around. So I want you to put things in perspective. Get your life in order, okay? Get your affairs in order, like I said, before 2020, all right? Now, there's something else I want to show you guys. Let me come back here to the live video real quick because I want to show you guys something else. So give me a second here. While you guys having, while you're enjoying yourself in the chat, let me see if I could pull something else up for you guys, okay? Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Please, please, please. Thank you. All right, what we have here. Okay. Facts. That's not what I'm looking for. Federal trust proof resolution. Already showed that. Okay, I think that's what it is. I hope it's clear enough because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read that, but I'm going to make an attempt to. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm trying to pull something up for you guys. All righty, let me see. Wow, that's going to be a little faint, but anyway, we're going to try it out. Okay, so we already spoke about the difference between legal and lawful. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the police. Now, here's something very interesting that I want you guys to be very aware of. Okay, we getting into some stuff that they're not going to teach you in school. I promise you that. And you're not going to learn that on every channel. I promise you that too. Okay, so I'm dropping some real stuff here. Okay, I'm dropping some real stuff here. Let us go here. All right. What I was going to show you guys. Let me see. All right, good. Close that out. Go back. All right, I'm just checking something here. Give me a second, please. Google. All right, good. I'm going to share my screen again. Let us continue. All right, let us proceed. So here we are in Google. So now we're going to talk about the police. The police, because that's what's in every corner in our neighborhoods. That's what's all over in our neighborhoods, giving you tickets, telling you what to do, arresting you, doing all these things. And remember, arrest is giving you a rest. All right? Because you are an illegal person and you are doing something that's deemed illegal. So you need a rest, which is arrest. Okay? Wordplay. Okay? All right. So we have etymology of policy. All right. So we have police and policy. And like I tell people, police and policy is the same thing. It is the same thing. Don't think it's anything different. Remember, the etymology of the word is the origin and meaning of policy. Okay. The original meaning of policy. Here we go. So you have to be aware of what's happening to your life. Why you were getting into the legal situations that you were getting into and why you were always losing. And I'm breaking all that down to you today. Okay. Policy, a noun, one, way of management. So for one, any policy that's put in place, it's a way of management. That means you are being managed. Okay. You are being managed. A man or a woman cannot and should not be managed. However, a legal person, an artificial person can be. So I want you to know the difference. Late 14th century policy, study of practice of government, good government. From Old French policy, political organization, civil administration. From Late Latin policiere or policiere, the state civil administration. From Greek policiere, state administration, government, citizenship. From polites or police, citizen. From police, you see, from police, city, state, and it says see police, meaning plan of action, way of management, first recorded in the 14th century. So that has been around for a very long time. All right. Now we have noun to, which it applies, but it says written insurance agreement, 1560s, from Middle English French police. See that? It is the same thing. Contract bill of lading. It is the same thing. Policia, poliza. It is the same thing. Policy and police is the same thing. But let's look at this word right here. They say see police. Police. Okay. Greek. Ancient Greek. Greek Rome, right? Okay. 1894, from Greek police. Police. Citadel, fort, city of one city, the state of community, citizens. From pi, enclosed space, often on high ground, hilltop, blah, 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 blah. But literally it's the police. It's the same thing. All right. So police and policy is the same thing. That's why they have these people in your community to enforce the policies. To enforce the policies. In other words, you have to be managed. Because you know why? Because you don't know how to be a man or a woman. A man or a woman cannot and should not harm another man or woman, should not defraud another man or woman, should not damage another man or woman's property. But because you have so much lack of respect for yourselves and others, then you need the policies to be put in place to manage you so that the police could give you a rest just in case you have broken any of those policies. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? Let us go back to the live video real quick. Brothers and sisters, is that making any sense to you right now? Okay. The further back you go into antiquity, there was only one sheriff, which they changed from sheriff to sheriff, right? But we are the original sheriff or sheriff. We are the original ones. Okay. We are the original ones. But then they changed it to sheriff. So the further back you go into antiquity, men and women knew how to act like men and women. So there wasn't a need for policies or police. But man started becoming unlawful. So they needed policies and codes to keep them in check. And to enforce those policies and codes, they had to put police. So the higher the so-called crimes are in a state, the more police they will have in that state, or that certain county or vicinity, or what you call borough, or whatever town or township. The more unlawful it's deemed, the higher the presence of policy enforcers, because you have forgotten how to be man and woman. So that's why the police is in your hood, deep and heavy, because you don't have the knowledge. You don't know how to act, because you think that you could just do anything because you have free will. No, the Most High gave us free will to do as we should, not as we please. Okay? Police officers are not elected, they are hired. Okay? Who is elected? The highest officer of the land. The sheriff, which is now called the sheriff. And I told y'all, I gave y'all an experience that I had. I went down to Brooklyn because I'm always knocking on doors. I don't play, to ask questions. So I step up into the office, always in my indigenous attire. asking to speak to the sheriff, you know. So some Gonzalez, you know, Spanish dude came out, and he has an attitude that I'm coming to ask questions. Well, how can I help you? I said, well, you know, I'm an American Aborigine. And first, I'm a man who calls himself an American Aborigine. And I just want to know, when the policy enforces, you know, and I did that, the police violate my creator given rights. Okay, I know that you are in place. You are my guardian. You were put in place to protect my rights. How do I come to you, or what do I do if I need a police officer arrested for violating my rights? Because that's your job. Okay, he got mad. Well, you can't talk to the sheriff. I say, what you mean I can't talk to the sheriff? Isn't the sheriff a public servant? Okay, if he is a public servant, I am the public. That means he worked for me. I want to speak to him. He making it seem like the sheriff is God. You know what I'm saying? Like I need Jesus to go see God. You feel me? So he started getting a little bit, you know, belligerent. You know what I mean? So I was like, listen, first of all, hold up. Okay, let me ask you a question. Because I'm asking you, let me ask you. I need to know what your job is, your job description, what your job is. Not what you think it is, but the oath that you swore to. What is that oath, and what's that job you uphold, you know, that oath to? Because you were put in place by the people to protect the rights of the people. So I'm going to ask you a question. Am I talking to the man? Am I talking to a man right now? Or am I talking to the man acting as a sheriff right now? He said, oh, well, you should know. The way you're talking, you seem like an educated guy. I say, man, listen, it ain't got nothing to do with education. I just need to know, am I talking to the man, or am I talking to the man acting as the sheriff? He said, well, you know, do you want to speak to the supervisor? I said, yes. The supervisor came, asked to speak to the sheriff. He told me I can't speak to the sheriff. All right. But anyway, long story short, I asked him, yo, what's your job description, man? Because I want to know when my rights are being violated. Okay, the job of the sheriff is not to go taking and towing people's cars and kicking people out of their homes. No, the job of the sheriff is to protect the people. That's what we elected y'all for. And if you're not doing your job, we will get you out of office. But the problem is, our people don't know that. They don't know that they could take the sheriff out of office. They don't know that they could require the sheriff to go arrest the governor. They don't know that they could require the sheriff to go arrest a police officer for violating their right, a municipal policy enforcer. You don't know that. So because enough of us is not holding them accountable, then they do what the hell they want. So anyway, he pointed to the door and showed me, well, if you want to know what our responsibility is, our job is, go look at the door. All right, I said, cool. I looked at the door, I seen something up there, and I took a picture of it. So let me see if I could show you guys that. Okay, it's a little bit blurry, but let me see if you know, I could make it out. All right, give me a second here. Let me see it. Let me share this with you guys. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, cool. All righty. Let us share the screen here. All right, guys. I'm not sure if you could see this, but again, like I said, I don't just talk about it. I'm real about this. I'll be doing this for real. Okay. I go in these people's faces for real, and I'm holding them accountable for real. I don't play games. So if y'all think Chief is playing, Chief ain't playing. Okay. Now, like I said, this is a little bit blurry because I was taking the picture and he was trying to rush me out and all that. But anyway, I asked him, I was like, so hold up, you trying to rush me? You tell me to look at, I asked you if I could take a picture. You tell me yes. Now you want to rush me? I say, man, listen, I ain't going, I'm not going anywhere. I took like about 10 pictures, and that was the most visible one that came up. So the sheriff, he said that that's their job description. So let me break this down to you guys, okay? And I'm going to take my time and read it because some of it is a little blurry. In addition to the statutory powers, again, statutory, we have to look at the definition of that word statutory, okay? Let us look at that, because in addition to the statutory powers, all right, let us look at that word statutory. All right, let us go to Google here for a second. Definition of statutory. I think that's how it's spelled, right? Definition of statutory. Definition. Required, permitted, or enacted by statute. Okay, so well, we know what statutes are anyway. All right, of criminal offense, carrying penalty prescribed, etc., etc. So basically required, permitted, or enacted by a statute. So that's statutory. Hence, they have the term statutory law. Okay, so definition of statutory law. Maybe that might give us a better. So a statutory law, an act of legislation of legislature that declares, prescribes, or commands something. A specific law expressed in writing. A statute is a written law passed by a legislative on the state or federal level. Statutes set forth general positions of law that courts apply to specific situations. Okay, so now we know the sheriff, in addition to statutory powers, so he has those powers to deal with such so-called statutes and laws. Okay, just wanted to make sure we have a clear understanding of that. And duties which a sheriff now has, he also has those duties which were fixed at common law and which have not been abrogated by the statute. Okay, now that key word, once again, remember what I tell y'all? We have to read, not to finish, because they always rush us to read. Oh, are you done yet? Hurry up and read. Why are you reading so slow? I want to teach you how to read to start, because that's the only way you're going to comprehend and get a profound meaning of what, or comprehension of what you are reading. Let us look at the definition of abrogated. Okay, some of you may know. I'm not saying that you illiterate now. I just like to break things down so that a child could get it. Okay, abrogated. Let us look at the definition of abrogated. All right, definition of abrogated. Abrogated. All right. Abrogate. Repeal or do away with. Okay, so any common law that the statutes hasn't abrogated, then the sheriff or sheriff, okay, has power over that. A law that hasn't been repealed or do away with. And common law is still the law of the land. However, they don't want you to exercise common law. They want to deal with the legal system, the municipal system, the judicial system, because they don't want you to exercise your rights. They want you to go by the privileges that you have that can be taken. So therefore, the sheriff also has the duty which were fixed at common law and which have not been abrogated by the statute. Okay, and any statute, again, cannot supersede the supreme law of the land that's passed by the Supreme Court. Okay, these include particularly those relating to the conservation of peace. So the sheriff is the highest peace officer of the land. So therefore, if a so-called police officer that's not yes, they say they stand for peace, but if they're violating your rights, that means they don't stand for peace. Then you could call the sheriff. But we have to make sure that to let the sheriff know that we know that's their job. And that's the problem. We are not holding them accountable. These include particularly those relating to the conservation of peace. Corpus Juris Secundum, volume, they have a number, they block some of it out. 80, Sheriffs and Constables, section 42, pp 211-212, sets forth the sheriff common law duties as follows. Okay, here is the sheriff based on common law. At common law and on the statutes declaratory thereof, sheriff and deputy sheriffs and under sheriffs are peace officers. The duties of a sheriff are in large measure the same as are imposed on police officers. He necessarily exercises police powers and must enforce the laws enacted for the protection of lives, persons, property, health, and moral of the people. Okay? It is not if he chooses to. You see that key word right here? Must. Must. It's an obligation, Mr. Sheriff, that you enforce the laws enacted for the protection of lives, persons, Okay, so therefore you have to protect my life. If a police officer is threatening me, okay, he's threatening my person, then I could come to you and make sure that you protect my right or my property. If a police officer take my property, I could go to the sheriff and make sure that my property is given back to me because I haven't broken any laws, health and morals of the people, because I am one of the people. So like I told y'all before, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. I don't care what type of Aboriginal you call yourself. I don't care what type of Cherokee you call yourself. I don't care what type of Indian you call yourself. If you are not the man and the woman first or the people first, trust me, the Constitution is not protecting Aborigines. So y'all better get that straight and understand that. So like I said, it's important to get the book. Get the book. All right? Accordingly, a sheriff must enforce the criminal law. He is under a legal duty to investigate crimes, to suppress them, and in proper case to arrest and prosecute persons who commit them. So if the police officer, remember, typical example, there is no such thing as failure to identify. If a police pull you over and want to arrest you for failure to identify, that's a criminal act. That's unlawful. And you could go to the sheriff and require the sheriff to arrest that wrongdoer. Okay, not the police officer, but the man acting as the police officer. That's the problem. Like I said, get that book, educate yourself, and learn how to win. Okay? He is under a legal duty to investigate crimes, to suppress them, and in a proper case, to arrest and prosecute persons who commit them. It is also his right and duty to arrest all persons with their arbiters who oppose the execution of process. As a peace officer, it is the sheriff's duty to act as a conservator of the peace within his county, using, however, such forces as may be necessary to preserve the peace. So it is his duty to prevent breaches of peace and assault and batteries. Okay? Anytime a police officer violates your creator-given rights, it's a breach of the peace. And the sheriff's duty is to arrest that individual. Okay? Whether it may be a police, a prosecutor, a magistrate, even a governor. The sheriff has a right. Okay? That's the duty. We put them in place to protect. They are the guardians of our right. To protect our right from anybody. But they are not doing their duty because the people don't know and the people are not holding them accountable. Okay? To suppress, an insurrection or unlawful assemble, and to arrest one provoking an assault. Anytime a police, again, ask you for identification and politely you refuse to and they arrest you, that is an assault. That is battery. But you don't know. Okay? That you don't know. Okay? In the discharge of his duty to prevent and suppress breaches of peace and other offenses, the sheriff is bound to use all the means provided by law to accomplish such end. That means he's bound. That's an oath. You have to do everything in your power to protect my right and make sure that my rights are secured. Okay? And he cannot shut his eyes to what is common knowledge in the community. What is common knowledge? Common knowledge is when the people come together as a common people to say what the law is. And the sheriff's duty is to enforce that. You see the power that you have, my brothers and sisters? But you don't have the power because, first off, you are not in the right status. And second of all, you don't know your rights. And third of all, you believe that you're a legal person, which is the same thing, you are out of status. And of course, you have to know how to articulate those things. Or purposely avoid information easily acquired, which makes it his duty to act. He is under a duty to be active and vigilant, to exercise initiative to the reasonable alert with respect to possible violations of law, and to use all proper efforts to secure obedience to the law. Even he himself, again, he have to obey the law that we put in place. Okay? The duty of the sheriff to act as a conservator of the peace is to set forth in Peace versus in Pence something versus Stevens. Man, this is blurry. It is the duty of the sheriff to act as a, all right, guys, you know what? I'm gonna have to see if I could get a better copy of this because like I said, I took a picture and the phone wasn't in focus. So that's my fault of that. But basically you get the basic concept of what I'm talking about. And lastly, all the way to the end, it says provision for the election of a sheriff by the voters of a county is contained in section 5 of article something of the state of the Constitution. Provision is made therein for security to be given by a sheriff. Okay, so how many of y'all in your state or your county put your sheriff in place? Because you don't know. Okay, we could elect our own sheriff. So the moral of this picture right here is to show you the power of the sheriff. We have to hold them accountable and let them know that we know what we put them in place for, and what they are doing. They're not doing their jobs because they are not protecting our rights. They are the guardians of our rights, and they are allowing this policy enforcers. Again, if you're a legal person, then the statutes and codes apply to you. The police, okay, do what they do with you. But anytime it comes to a man and a woman, it's a different procedure. And we also have to educate the police on that, because a lot of them are ignorant of the law. They only deal with codes and statutes and ordinances. That's all they study, but they don't know law. Okay, so I'm going to end this here. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys. No, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today. So let me get back to the live feed. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Hey, how you guys doing? What's going on, guys? Everybody doing good? We doing good? All right, so we've been on for over 2 hours. I just wanted to build feathers up for sure. I just wanted to build with you guys. Again, my goal and my job is to teach y'all how to be men and women again and learn how to win every time. The legal system, this Roman system, the beast, is destroying our people. And I'm telling you, if you don't learn this, if you don't get a true understanding of this, you're going to lose every single time. You are going to lose. I promise you that. You are going to lose. Okay? So learn the language. Be the language. You don't have to get caught up in the statutes and codes. You don't have to learn that, because it is just so much, so many codes. There are millions of codes. Okay? You cannot learn those things. And a lot of people trying to learn those things and be attorneys and be lawyers. I'm not an attorney. However, I know law. Okay? I don't need to learn codes because it doesn't apply to me. I'm the man. I am the king. Okay? And my wish is their command. You are the king. You are the queen. And your wish is their command. We are the public. The public is king and queen. And they are the servants. But but don't be rude. Okay? Speak eloquently. Speak with, intelligence. Be wise in your words. Don't get into confrontations with police officers, because a lot of them they are actually ignorant of the law. They don't know the law because they only know codes, legal system. Okay, well, code such and such say you're violating code 5199999, and they give you a citation. That's what they were taught. Robots. No disrespect, my brother is a cop. I love him to death. Well, not to death, to life. But the truth is the truth. My cousin is a cop. I love him to life, but the truth is the truth. A lot of them don't know the law, and they're only doing what they are told. So when our rights are being violated, we have to make sure that they are held accountable. Go to the sheriff, let the sheriff know we know what their job is, get their job description, show it to them, and if they don't do their jobs, we make sure that we get them out of office because we elected them, and put our own sheriffs in place. Each man and woman is a sheriff because you are the master of self. Okay? Each man and woman is a governor because you are the governor of self. But just because you are the governor of self, that means you have to work in accordance or along in a society with other governors of people that govern themselves. So there are certain things that's put in place. Okay? There are certain things that put in place. Taking your car and going through a red light is not breaking the law. However, I wouldn't suggest it because you are putting people's lives in danger. So yes, you know, there are certain codes that's not going to harm you if you abide by the codes. I wouldn't want somebody to just take a red light and run into my car and hurt me. But if I so choose to stop and I look left and I look right and then I proceed and nobody got hurt, then I didn't break any law. But sometimes you get citations for that and you think you have broken a law. It is not a law. It's a statute. It's a code. And those are not laws. And they only apply to legal persons. Okay? So, guys, love you guys. I'm about to end this video. Just wanted to drop this build here and make sure that you guys get that information. It's important that you really have a true understanding of all these things. Teach it to your children. Stop smoking the weed, man. Stop the drinking. Like, you know, let us heal ourselves. You know what I mean? Let us heal ourselves. Let us come together and build each other. Let us work on getting land. Let us do what we have to do. Okay? And support the movement, man. There are a lot of things that I want to do, but I can't do it without your support. I am being quite frank. Okay? Don't listen to the naysayers and the negative people. Okay? I'm telling you. Because not too many of us out here doing this for real. Not too many of us are doing it for real. Okay? And that's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. And I'm gonna, if y'all think I'm playing, like so many times, you know, people just talk and talk and talk. But let me tell you something about Chief, right? Chief be putting in that work for real. Okay? If y'all think I'm playing. Y'all think I'm playing, huh? Okay? See this? I got my passport. I got a real passport with Chief Kalinago Flying Eagle as my title on there. Okay? So if y'all think I'm playing, I'm not playing. So for all the naysayers that's talking, that's hating, y'all hating because y'all don't know what I know. And y'all hating because y'all ain't me. That's the problem. And people that love negativity fell for the trap. But I have a whole lot to offer my people. I am very resourceful. You better believe that. But like I said, I know the hows. I know the ways. I just need the support of the people. That's all. I just need the support of the people. Everything I do is for you. I don't do it for me. I'm good. Like I said, I could go back to the islands. I got land in the islands. I could go back to the islands and just chill and become an old man. Okay? In the bushes eating mangoes and fruits all day. Okay? And have me a couple of sisters in the in the wilderness, and we just have some babies and we chilling. And whatever happens, happens. I could do that. But then I know that there is work to be done. So I don't want to be selfish. I want to help save my people. I mean, I cannot save you, but I want to give you the knowledge so that you could save yourself. So support the movement. Or you know what? I don't promote this GoFundMe thing no more because people think, oh, well, you're not supposed to be asking for donations. Why not? All this work that I'm giving you. Why not? I'm giving you more knowledge that you get in school. But you pay thousands and thousands of dollars for student loans. And then you have to file for bankruptcy. Here I'm giving you information so that you could win every single day in life. But people complain. People hate. But I'm not going to talk about that. So I say, you know what? I'm going to write a book to give you something. So the link is below. Support the book. Get the information. No, I don't. The land in the islands, I don't pay taxes for that. That's been in generations in my family for years. Now we ain't paying taxes on that. And remember, tax is voluntary. Okay? Taxes is voluntary. And all that information is in my book. Newsflash, everyone's a slave on less. The link is below. Go get your copy. By now, literally, at least 300, 400, 500 people should have had that book already. You know, and it just goes to show it's amazing how our people could spend money on so many things that's not for their betterment. If I was promoting a new iPhone that, you could just blink and it calls somebody for you. And I told them the iPhone was $1,500, but all you have to do is blink. Okay, and you call whoever's in your phone, or you blink and you answer your phone. I guarantee you people would be buying that, saving up their checks. Yo, I got to get that iPhone, son. All you got to do is blink, son, and that call somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show you the mindset of the people. I'm giving you something. I guarantee you, you will never see another book like that. I'm not going to say you will never see, but I guarantee you I've never seen one like that. It's different. Okay, it's different. And it has powerful information. And it was written for you so that you could learn how to win and beat this system, beat the beast, become a man, become a woman, and get the respect that you deserve. And then we're going to work on our Aboriginal stuff because we got a lot of work to do. So like I said, support the movement. What's the name? What's the name of? Well, it's our nation. Our nation is the Autochthon American People Nation. The link is below. All right. And for me, I'm tribal. Okay. Hence, you know, what does that mean? It means that I'm Carib, Choctaw, and Cherokee, what you call, well, Anianwea, what they call Cherokee, the principal people. So those are my peoples. All right. All right. All right. Somebody say I pay taxes on stolen land. I don't pay landless. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Like I said, you know, that's what they have us doing. You know, they stole our land and they want us to pay taxes on our land. We got to stand up as the Aborigines, man. We got to stand up and fight this. All right. And like I said, one man could make a difference. One woman could make a difference. But together, just imagine what we could do together. Okay. So for all the people who have actually gotten the book, you know, you know, I'm going to, you know, hit them up and we're going to put some things in motion and make some moves because we got work to do. Like I told y'all before, support the movement, brothers and sisters. Support the movement because there's a lot of things that I could put in place, but I need your support. I cannot do it alone. Honestly, I can't do it alone. Okay. Trips have to be taken, all these things. And I'm not just talking about trips within the United States. I'm talking about outside the country to make some powerful moves on behalf of the Aborigines. Okay. I know the hows. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I know the knowledge. I know what I know. You feel me? But I need my brothers and sisters to support it because I'm doing it for you. And that's the honest truth. Okay. So thank you to each and every one of you for tuning into this live feed. As always, thank you for inviting me into your space, your energy. Okay. Real recognize real. I'm always going to say that positive energy resonate with positive energy. So we always going to keep it positive, high vibes, feathers up. You know how we do American Aborigines all day long. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, remember, the Lalakea tribe in Australia, they have never given up the fact that they were the Aborigines and they got back their land. You want to get back what's ours? I'm going to show you how to do it. Continue to be who you are. Be an Aborigine and don't let nobody take that away from you. Don't be no kind of American, okay? A kind of American, not be an Aboriginal American, an American Aboriginal. That in itself, nobody could take that narrative away from us, okay? No matter what else they say. They cannot take that away from us. But anytime you start calling yourself any kind of American, then there are limitations. Trust me on that. All right. So keep that in mind. I am with you, Chief. If possible, we can link up and get things done together. Hey, Jonathan, beautiful. I mean, I already have your information. Like I told you, your book is in the mail. So you're already part of that email list of people that have gotten the book that we're going to put some things in place. So you are definitely on that list, my brother. So thank you again for this, for the support. Do me a favor, guys. Go check out Lovely One Love you know, YouTube channel. She's one of our sisters, Aborigine sister, very powerful. She has a music channel and she's doing music and videos and she has a few powerful songs. So definitely go support her channel, subscribe, and like I said, each one teach one, each one support one, man. That's what it's all about. Okay. 2020 is around the corner. That new census is coming out and they're going to pull you back into another 400 years of slavery by how you identify yourself. So get your affairs in order, correct your status. Okay. Get the book and learn some information. Peace, love, harmony, and light. I love you guys. Chief Kalinago. I'm out. Feathers up all day. All right. Peace.